I feel like he adapt well. But it don't take much to get hit, especially these little 8-ounce gloves. He cannot slip up. He cannot slip up. He gonna have to stay set from bing to bing from round 1 to 12, and he better be in shape.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like not 12 round shape. I'm talking about like 16 round shape.
The highly anticipated showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez has boxing fans and analysts buzzing with excitement. As the fight draws nearer, a mix of perspectives from experts and former fighters has emerged, offering insights into what could shape the outcome of this intriguing matchup.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You
Since
mention me
2002.
one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
It's gonna
you.
be me.
I don't
And
care
you
about
will-
nobody else.
And you will see that. day.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I step up on your ass, is you gonna be a nobody?
Dmitry Bivol, who handed Canelo his most recent defeat, has weighed in on the fight, praising Crawford for his exceptional boxing skills. He acknowledges that Crawford's ability to switch between orthodox and southpaw stances could provide him with a tactical advantage, especially against an opponent like Canelo, who is known for his methodical and power-heavy style. Bivol, however, points out a crucial aspect of the fight: Crawford's ability to absorb Canelo's punches at 168 pounds. The power that Canelo brings at super middleweight is unlike anything Crawford has faced before in his career, and Bivol's experience with Canelo's strength makes his assessment all the more important. He believes Crawford will have to adjust significantly if he's to succeed.
You know, with it's not about only getting used to the power, and it's also about be mentally ready, because when people are not prepared them mentally, they like afraid or scared, you become weak, your body become weak.
On the other hand, Andy Lee sees the contest as a potential classic. He notes that while Canelo will have the advantage in terms of size, Crawford has made impressive strides in filling out his frame and has proven his strength at welterweight and junior middleweight. Lee is excited to see how both fighters will showcase their elite technical abilities, anticipating a fiercely competitive bout. Despite some criticisms of Canelo's recent performances, Lee believes Canelo's determination and unwavering competitive spirit will make him a formidable opponent when he faces Crawford.
On the same night as that, over in Las Vegas, Canelo Alvarez takes on Terence Crawford. What are your thoughts on that sort of super fight, I guess you could say?
Yeah, what a fight. Very hard to pick a winner, isn't it? Very hard to pick a winner because, like every good fight, you know, no one really knows the skill and competitiveness and ring craft of Crawford, or, you know, then you can say the same things about Canelo, but just he has that size. And but I see Crawford in New York when Hamza fought Berlanga, and he doesn't look too small anymore. He's filled out a lot. He looks quite big. It's a great fight. I think they're equally matched in skill, and it's going to be one of the best fights. It's going to, like, when you see how skillful both fighters are, the tricks they have, and how they fight. It should be one of the best fights of the last, I don't know how many years. You know, it should be up there with the best fights we can remember.
Yeah.
Carl Frog lends his support to Canelo, though he does acknowledge Crawford's remarkable talent. Having sparred with top-tier welterweights and fought against strong fighters himself, Frog draws on his own experience to highlight the challenges Crawford will face at a higher weight class. He points to Canelo's exceptional strength and ring craft at 168 pounds, qualities that could be tough for Crawford to navigate. Frog's take is that while Crawford is a highly skilled fighter, the step up to super middleweight may prove to be too much, especially when considering Canelo's vast experience at this weight.
I think it's a great fight. It's really interesting, intriguing, because Crawford's so good, so talented, unbeaten, the box of tricks. I thought the Errol Spence fight would have been close and he absolutely demolished him. But I just think he's out of his weight division. Well, he is out of his weight division. 2 or 3 weight divisions is coming up.
Yeah.
And I just don't see how a welterweight can step up to super middleweight, especially a super middleweight who's been up at light heavyweight. I don't see how he can do that and perform for longer than 4, 5, maybe 6 rounds.
Really?
I just think the weight will get to him. I used to spar welterweights.
Okay.
And they're good for a round or two because they're quicker than you. When they're skillful and fast, they've got you on the end of the jab, they're catching you with shots. But the minute you get pissed off and just close that distance a little bit, start to lean on them, start to wrap them around the body and bring it back upstairs, it's almost like the fight's over. It's like you can just bully somebody. There's weight divisions in boxing for a reason.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And in some of the divisions, there's only 4 or 5 pounds between the divisions. This is Terence Crawford coming up 3 weight divisions, coming up from 147 all the way up to 168, super middleweight, against a guy who's established at super middleweight, undisputed king, and his one title's at light heavyweight as well.
He's got a lot to prove, and he really.
He's got a massive mountain.
What advice would you
and
give
he's the
to
older
Terence?
fighter, Crawford. He's 38, 39 years old. I know Canelo's got more miles on the clock, so over 65. But he's not a young man, Terence Crawford. So it's outstanding what he's doing. I don't like to say it, but he might be cashing out. He might be thinking big fight with Crawford.
Yeah.
John Ryder, who has faced Canelo before, offers a unique perspective. He praises Crawford's versatility and the abilities he's shown in winning world titles across multiple weight divisions. Ryder is cautious, however, about Crawford's jump to super middleweight, especially against an opponent like Canelo. He suggests that Crawford could employ a similar strategy to Bivol when he beat Canelo, using speed, mobility, and discipline to avoid getting drawn into a brawl. But Ryder does raise a critical concern. Crawford's body may not be fully prepared to withstand Canelo's power at 168 pounds. This could be a key factor in how the fight unfolds.
You faced Canelo. If you could give some pointers to Crawford, what should he do to come out victorious in September?
I think you just got to watch the Bivol blueprint, the in and out. I mean, a lot of fighters getting stick now for being runners, Tom and Jerry and whatnot. But stick to what you're good at. Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. His one titles through the weights, undisputed at 3 weights now. And listen, if anyone can do it, it's him. I think the weight will be too much of an issue. Canelo is a special talent. And I think the weight will play a factor in the fight. But listen, Canelo once done it and made the step up to super middleweight. I would like Crawford to be more at light middle and middle to build into it, but you take these opportunities when they come, and that's what greatness is.
As one of boxing's most respected analysts, Andre Ward has weighed in on the matchup as well, offering a breakdown of both fighters' styles. Ward believes neither fighter can afford to be reckless. Instead, both will need to adopt a balanced approach, using their punching power while remaining disciplined to avoid mistakes. Ward's analysis is grounded in the importance of ring intelligence and how crucial it will be for both fighters to adjust to the other's strengths.
I'm going with Terence Crawford, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
Adding another layer to the discussion, former light heavyweight champion Antonio Tarver believes that Crawford's ring intelligence will give him the edge over Canelo. Tarver acknowledges that Canelo is an incredible fighter with a track record of overcoming tough opponents, but he believes that Crawford's speed, unpredictability, and ability to adapt will be key in dealing with Canelo's power. For Tarver, this fight represents Crawford's toughest test to date, but he sees the potential for an upset, with Crawford outboxing Canelo and using his ring IQ to gain the upper hand.
Terence gotta be Terence, bro. He's a real deep thinker. He processed fights like nobody else. And he's processed this Canelo fight. He's seen it. He went through it 2 or 3 times already. He knows how this ends. You can tell the way he shadow boxes. He visualizing Canelo being right there in front of him. You understand? Look at the movement. That's all you got to do. Look at the movement. And that's the type of master boxer that Canelo is going to be facing. And the only thing I say is Canelo hasn't faced an opponent like this in a long time. You know what I mean? I think Canelo's going to have to go back to the Caleb Plant fight and look that good, that active, that, you feel me? moving with that type of grace to beat Terence Crawford. Because weight ain't gonna make the difference. It ain't gonna be the weight, it's gonna be the skill set.
Despite the optimism surrounding Crawford's chances, not everyone shares this belief. Regis Prograis cautions against underestimating Canelo's strength. Prograis highlights Canelo's ability to handle big punchers like Sergey Kovalev and Gennady Golovkin, which gives him confidence that Canelo's power at 168 pounds will be a significant challenge for Crawford. Prograis warns that Crawford's jump in weight could lead to a reduction in his speed and power, which may give Canelo the advantage. According to Prograis, the physical and stylistic challenges that come with facing a fighter like Canelo might ultimately be too much for Crawford to handle.
You know, I think that Crawford has the ability to outbox Canelo. You gotta look at, and then Canelo's older. Crawford has the ability, but he's small, you know, and he can look bigger Crawford could look bigger in the weigh-ins and all that stuff, but it's always a difference. When you get that fight with somebody, you can tell. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel fought him, the twin, he fought Crawford, and in all the stuff, the weigh-ins and the press conference, Jamel looked like the bigger man. You know, his head, his neck, everything looked bigger, but when they got in the fight, you can tell. You can see who really was the bigger man, and I think that's the same thing. Crawford is putting on weight, but it's not weight. Like Canelo had the weight already. He doesn't have to put on muscle. He doesn't have to do that. He's already big like that. But I think that Crawford does have the style. He does have the style to beat him. If you look at the people that beat him or gave him troubles, Irislan, De Lara, Ostertrout, Floyd, and Bivol, you know, they gave him trouble and stuff like that. And Skull moved around a little bit too. So I think that Crawford has that, but I don't know how Crawford is gonna respond when he gets hit. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel was undisputed at 154, and Canelo hit him and shit. Jamel was like, hell no. Jamel took a knee, you know. So it's a big difference. And Crawford had that one fight at 154, and he didn't, you know, Madrimov would touch him up a little bit. And this is nowhere close to Madrimov. You talk about Canelo. Now, if it was just another bigger guy, I would go with Crawford. But you talk about this might be, I mean, people might kill me for it, but well, not really, but this might be the best Mexican fighter ever. One of them, at least, right?
Andy Ruiz adds another intriguing perspective to the debate. While he acknowledges Canelo's strength at super middleweight, Ruiz points out that Canelo has historically struggled with southpaw fighters, which makes Crawford's style particularly dangerous for him. Ruiz, however, refrains from making a definitive prediction, instead suggesting that the fight is too close to call and could go either way. His take reflects the general uncertainty surrounding the outcome, as both fighters bring unique strengths to the table.
All I know is that if you were in a Canelo Crawford card, that card would be a million times. It's still an amazing card, but you would have added a lot. Who wins, Canelo or Crawford?
I think it's gonna be a good fight, man. I'm going for Canelo, of course. You know, he's the Mexican warrior as well, but Crawford, man, you can't neglect him or you can't underestimate him as well. You know, he has a lot of skills, a lot of movement. He's a lefty as well. That's what Canelo has trouble with. I think it's going to be an amazing fight, man. I just can't wait, and the best man wins.
Abel Sanchez also weighed in with a more critical perspective. Sanchez expresses concern over Crawford's rapid weight gain over a relatively short period of time. He believes that if Crawford had taken more time to properly build his body for the move up to 168 pounds, he might have had a better chance against someone as strong as Canelo. Sanchez argues that Crawford's speed and agility, which are some of his key attributes, could be compromised at the heavier weight. This could play directly into Canelo's hands, giving the Mexican champion the upper hand in terms of strength and ring control.
To have a guy come up from 140 pounds in such a short period of time, I'm not saying he couldn't have done it. If he'd have taken 3 or 4 years like Canelo did and built up not only his strength but his bulk in the correct way, he would have had a better chance. But to do it in these 14, 15 months that he's done it in.
Denzel Washington, the Hollywood icon and boxing fan, also chimed in on the matchup. While he refrains from picking a winner, Washington acknowledges the greatness of both fighters. He points to Canelo's mental toughness, noting that the Mexican boxer has overcome numerous challenges in the ring. Washington also praises Crawford for his skills, describing him as one of the best fighters he's ever seen. While Washington doesn't predict the outcome, his remarks reflect the sense of excitement and respect surrounding this fight. It's clear that both fighters are highly regarded, and the uncertainty surrounding the outcome only adds to the allure of the contest.
Talked about how you could throw your hands. I know you're a big boxing fan. Crawford, Canelo coming up. Who you guys got? Don't take the easy road out on me. Give me your prediction.
Listen. In our gym, Crawford sits right there, and Canelo sits right here. That's why you play the game. We're gonna find out. But I'll say this, and I love Crawford. Canelo's a bigger man. He ain't never been hit by a man like this, but Crawford's a great, great fighter. One of the greatest I've ever seen. I love Crawford. I try to be like him. I love Canelo. I can't call it. I won't call it.
When is the fight?
13th.
September 13th.
Who you like?
I'm going with Canelo, man.
He's just because he's a bigger dude. I don't know, but Crawford's a great fight. We're gonna find out. I'm glad Crawford finally has a fight.
Stephen A. Smith has weighed in with his own analysis, expressing his belief that Crawford will win by decision. Smith argues that while it is nearly impossible to knock out Canelo, Crawford's superior speed, movement, and technical boxing ability will allow him to outpoint the Mexican fighter over the course of the fight. Smith acknowledges that Canelo's power at 168 pounds is a significant threat, but he believes Crawford can avoid being drawn into a brawl and stick to his boxing fundamentals to win on the scorecards. Smith's perspective reflects the idea that Crawford's best chance lies in using his jab, footwork, and superior ring IQ to stay ahead of Canelo.
You got a love for boxing.
Yes, love
Who
boxing.
gonna win the fight, man? That's coming up, the biggest
Crawford.
fight in boxing.
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's right.
When I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway for crying out loud.
Right.
It's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yeah.
That's not beating Crawford.
Sergio Mora initially had doubts about Crawford's ability to handle Canelo at super middleweight. He questioned whether Crawford's lighter frame and limited experience at 168 pounds would be enough to absorb Canelo's power. However, as Mora reflected more on Crawford's skill set, he softened his stance. Mora acknowledged that Crawford's counter-punching ability and his adaptability in the ring could allow him to neutralize Canelo's strengths. While Mora still sees the weight disparity as a potential issue, he believes Crawford's defensive skills and versatility could make for a highly competitive fight.
Initially, I said, oh man, this is just a money grab. I mean, Crawford started at 135. How is he going to be at a guy that's fight as high as 175? And then you saw Canelo's fight against William School, his last fight. It wasn't a good fight, man. You've seen that he doesn't have that fastball anymore. He doesn't have he's never had fast feet, but at least he's not cutting off the ring like he used to.
Yeah.
And the explosiveness in his combinations and in half speed, it wasn't there either because there was nothing to hit. So can you imagine a Bud Crawford who's nowhere near a William School? School just ran. He didn't try to win that fight. Bud's going to try to win the fight. He's going to have the footwork. He's going to have the hand speed. He's going to have, maybe not the power of Canelo, but he's going to have respectable pop in that punch coming from both stances, mind you, the left-handed and the right-handed stance. And I just think ultimately Crawford just is a mean mofo. This dude mean. Yeah. I mean, I met Bud a couple of times. He pulls me aside and he gives me that look. He's a mean, intimidating dude, man. Yeah. And then I've been seeing how he's been growing into the frame.
He's gotten big.
He's gotten big. He's gotten muscular, and he's looking more like a middleweight, super middleweight. The closer the fight gets, the more I'm looking at Crawford like. This dude might do something, man. Because all along I haven't changed my tune. I say Canelo's gonna win this fight, but he's not gonna come out of it unscathed. I can see him being bruised up, battered, maybe a little bit of blood, but his size is gonna come in the end. Now I'm starting to change my tune. I can maybe see the day that we've seen Canelo finally get old, no excuses, just Crawford pot-shotting him, having the night of his life, and we just watch something great. I can visualize it, man. So the closer this fight gets, the more that I'm looking at it like a 50-50 fight.
As the fight draws nearer, the debate continues to rage on about whether Crawford can shock the world and defeat Canelo. The differing opinions highlight just how unpredictable the fight could be, with analysts and fighters alike split on who will emerge victorious. While Crawford's technical skill and intelligence are undeniable, the physical challenges he faces in moving up to super middleweight and the sheer strength of Canelo present significant hurdles. But one thing is certain, this will be a fight that fans wouldn't want to miss, as both fighters bring unique strengths and formidable skills to the ring. Whether Crawford can overcome Canelo's power remains to be seen, but the anticipation for this epic matchup continues to build.